Hi, this is Lori Thomas, and I'm representing the Scheinfeld Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And today our webinar is going to cover ways to sock social media marketing strategy into your business. Ultimately, with any type of web marketing, you want to create buzz. Marketing is about building awareness, serving customers, connecting, sharing information, or educating our current and prospective customers. And yes, of course, we are in business to make money and also make sales. Social media is not a fad. It's not going away. Social media definitely has technologies like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. Those are just technologies. It's not the tools. It's how we use the tools to connect, serve, support, and sell the people we want to have in our customer base. Social media is an art of marketing and also has the technological science that any of you listening can take advantage of. But when we look at social media, I'd like to retrain your brains, which is my job as the marketing therapist, to help retrain your brain to think of social media not as technology, but as new opportunities for professionals and people to communicate with other people that care, collaborate, and converse. Social media is all about mass collaboration. It's how people share information. It's how we distribute information. It's allowing organizations who used to just push their big messages out to the masses, the ones who had big budgets could win. Now any organization, large, small, for-profit, nonprofit, can connect in what is called people-to-people marketing. So it's no longer B2B or B2C, it's P2P, people-to-people marketing. And it's not healthy for your business to be antisocial. It is time to embrace the social web. As adults, we tend to judge and fear what we don't understand. And so what I'd like to help you do is just get your anxiety out in the open and understand that these technologies are not that difficult and they're not as scary as you think or what the media may propose. No matter what's being said right now about security issues and things like that around Facebook, you do need to realize as a business owner that that's where the masses are. We're looking at over 400 million active users on Facebook, over 60 million professionals on LinkedIn, which I love as an interactive Rolodex to share contacts, over 60 million active Twitter users. Twitter is not just for kids, believe it or not. The most active audience on Twitter is 35 and up. We're looking at 184 million blogs in existence today, and it's growing every single day. And according to Technorati, which is a search engine for social media like video, blogs, other social sites, bloggers are updating their blogs to the tune of over 900,000 blog posts within a 24-hour period. And YouTube, social media video sharing, is now the #2 search engine on the World Wide Web, only next in line to Google. So when we're looking at social media, it does work to connect people to people, but now the search engines are looking to these LinkedIns and the YouTubes and the Facebooks, and they're putting those results into the search engine results pages. So you can use social media for credibility. You can also use it for search visibility. And at the end of the day, marketing means creating, building, and sustaining relationships. And meaningful marketing, social media's heart, helps us build communication. And in marketing, we need to generate awareness about our products and services. And we have to do that by multiple mediums. Word of mouth marketing. Now we have word of mouse marketing, where we're sharing things via the World Wide Web. We're also able to collaborate. So it's not just a one-to-many approach. It's your audience is actually communicating and creating communities with each other and becoming an evangelist for your organization. And social media is working because it's entertaining. That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be humorous. It just means that it works because it's fun and it's easy to use. People are on Facebook because it's photo sharing, it's imagery, it's social, it's an enjoyable experience. So organizations need to think about it as people are going to use your products and services and hear about them in ways that are enjoyable and entertaining to do so, which again is why blogs work so well, because it's a communication tool that's more conversational in tone versus a more serious marketing message. So meaningful marketing, we want to communicate our message, we want to collaborate, but also when we do things in a way that's enjoyable for people to digest, it's going to work. And it goes back to the TV commercials, the ones that were, some of the ones that are really fun or funny, sometimes they stick a little more. Since this is a marketing series, I wanted to go back to the 4 Ps of marketing. Do you all remember product, place, promotion, and price? Well, the 4 Ps of marketing still exist, but now with social media, I'd like to encourage you to think now instead about the 4 Cs. So instead of products, it's now focused on customer. A lot of us are in the product and service or service business, and we don't have a product and go out and find customers for it. Now we figure out what customers want, and we are creating products and services specifically for their needs. So the shift has gone from company or product or service to customer. What used to be place, if you had the best real estate on a certain street and you were visible and your billboards were out there and people knew about you and the location was convenient, now the place has been replaced with convenience. And people may shop on Amazon because it's convenient. They may shop with you somewhere else because it's convenient, or they may just work with your organization because it's an enjoyable experience. Being a pleasure to work with pays. And also promotion. So promotion used to be the big jingles, the big expensive advertising campaigns. Now we don't have to push our propaganda and old school promotional mediums. We can just have a conversation, which is the next C, the communication from the people to people. So on Facebook, we can have a Facebook page and have immediate conversations with our customers. We can blog, and the people who may be a prospective customer can ask questions or comment. And it's a two-way dialogue versus a one-way conversation. And price. So there's a big misconception, especially with entrepreneurs and small business owners, that we have to be the cheapest or most affordable. If price were the biggest factor, we'd all be driving cheap cars and wearing cheap shoes. So price is not a factor, and small business owners compete by being good, not by being cheap. So where price is now being replaced with is cost, and cost is time and money. So when you're offering tremendous value and you have a distinct product or service, or you're creating, if you're a nonprofit and you're offering, goodwill to your community and donors are very appreciative of that value, that's the cost. So the 4 Ps are now replaced with the 4 Cs. And think about what used to be these customers, consumers. Now they are prosumers. So they are empowered, they're active. So think about fulfilling their needs. This is a brilliant social media chart created by Brian Solis, and it shows the whole map of all of the different social mediums. Today we're going to cover Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter, the main players. But just know that there's social bookmarking sites, comparison sites like Yelp are big in social media, even the event sites like Meetups and Eventbrite. Wikipedia's a piece of the puzzle. I love this screenshot because it shows the breadth and depth of all of the social networking out there. And this does, again, validate that social media is not a trend. It's here to stay, and it's only growing and growing. And it's a new way for marketers to start thinking about building their brands and boosting their business. Social media, when you got to explain this to your boss or to your business partner or your colleague, think about old school marketing as needing to be at the highest point on the mountaintop and blasting your message out. And the higher you were, the more people you could reach. Now with social media, think of yourself as being in the crowd. Peer-to-peer marketing, where you're not, it's not an elitism kind of thing. On the web, and especially with web marketing, there is no elitism. You can be a small business owner working out of your house in your pajamas and have the same marketing potential as a large organization, as long as you're willing to roll up your sleeves and get in the social media game. LinkedIn is one of my favorite online tools. I call it an interactive Rolodex because it allows you to store contacts. Let's say you talked to someone 5 years ago and you remember her name was Melissa, and you remembered she worked for an entrepreneurship center, but you maybe weren't remembering her last name. You can go to LinkedIn and you can search and you can find people and stay in touch with your contacts. It stores contacts and also allows you to post updates like Facebook does and stay in touch with people. And it's a large resume. Actually, Accenture has been quoted as doing over 40% of their online recruiting through tools like LinkedIn. So HR recruiters are using tools like LinkedIn to search for people. So if you're trying to market yourself, this is a great way to get found. It also builds credibility. The reality is that before people work with you or your organization, they're probably going to Google you. And if they do, you want your website to come up, possibly your LinkedIn profiles, and it shows your credentials, and that can really help build trust as long as you have a complete LinkedIn profile. So if you go to LinkedIn, look at your profile, make sure it's public, because when it's public, the search engine results pages will pull this up, and you can have your websites, your blogs, all of these things here. And I advise you under the websites tool, it allows you to post my website, my blog, my other website. If you hit under the applications area, which I believe is under your profile, you can edit your website to say other, and you can put descriptive key phrases into your website description. Like, let's say if you're a tax attorney in Atlanta, instead of having it say my website and linking to your website, it can say Atlanta tax attorney. And that phrase linking to your website from LinkedIn will actually boost your search engine visibility. So make sure you have a complete profile. A happy smiling picture of you does a ton of trust building power for your marketing, and it gets you out in the search engines, and it allows people to see your qualifications. A lot of organizations make it a requirement for multiple employees to be on LinkedIn.